afternoon, beaders. Welcome to Riverside Beads and Riverside Crafts for those of you that are crafters as well. Today I'm going to show you some jewellery making, some autumn inspired jewellery. So I'm Donna, I'm the owner and one of the designers here on the Riverside Beads side of things. I'm going to show you some autumn inspired bracelets. I've got some basic sort of elasticated bracelets to show you how to bring together some of the different designs and how I use the different colours and things together. And then I've got a woven project as well, where I'm going to show you how to do 2 layers of Tigertail and bring the beads and different spaces in as well. Then, if we get time, I'll show you our new Beaded Spider and our Beaded Witch charms as well. So come on in and have a look and we'll get started. Right, hopefully we'll be able to get you to see everything you need to see. Can you let me know if I've got you in shot correctly? We're just trying to set it up. Is that clear for you all? I'm probably really loud, sorry, I'm talking right near the phone. Now the one thing I haven't got, guys, is I'm not, unless I stand up, I'm not going to be able to see what you're saying to reply to everything, so I'll probably do that all in one big stint, but do feel free to have a chat amongst yourselves. Hi everybody, I can see everybody coming on. Can anybody let me know if that's clear in vision, whether you can see it? Thank you. Yep, Sandra said clear, good. Okay, let me just see if I go a little bit zoomed in. What I'll probably do is bring the stuff up so you can see it as and when we need to show you that in a bit more detail. Okay, bear with me. Thank you everybody, thanks for tuning in. So we're Riverside Beads and today it'll be some autumn inspired jewellery to sort of inspire you to make some nice Halloween-y pieces or just some jewellery for the season. Keeps us out of trouble on these dismal days, doesn't it? So my bead mat is already a mess, I'm afraid, because I have been having a play today. It's been a fabulous day today. We've been having a look at all the different goodies that we've got and trying to get more online for you to have a look at as well. So let's have a look. Now what I'm using is just one of our bead bundles that we've put together for autumn. I've half used them so it doesn't quite do them justice, but you'll see these absolute beautiful matte beads. These are brand new. We've added these online as well, but these are they're sort of like a stone look really. They're a matte stone effect bead, but they're actually a glass bead. They have a beautiful finish to them, so I've got some of those. And the thing I've done with this bundle that I've selected for you is give you a bit of texture in it. So this one's one of our matte finish, our smooth glass pearls. And oh, I've already used quite a lot of them, the smaller matte ones. And I've also gone for 2 of the most popular sizes with all of this. So some of your 8mm and some of your 6mm as well. So I've got a real assortment, and you can see that I've used a selection from all of these. So I'll bring those up a little bit nearer for you to see. So here's some of the beautiful, you can see the real difference there, and I think that nice tone looks really well together. So you get the nice stone look ones and then the matte ones. Is it dismal and raining where everybody is today? Because it's just not stopped today. Perfect. I've actually had some people in this morning in the shop who have come in, specifically said it's such a grey day, they want to grab something to sit to keep us going to make. Okay, so what I've got here, I won't go on to that one first. I will start. Oh, Lindsay, I don't suppose I can have some elastic, could I? From the workshop. I will start with this one because I've realised I've forgot my elastic. So that's not a good start. Right, let's have a look here. So this one, I'll go straight into the woven piece, which I know a lot of you were hoping to see. Now I've already started this project, but it's you can sort of continue it at any point. It makes the perfect necklace. In fact, somebody's just shared on our Facebook group today. I haven't had a chance to properly look at it and reply, but they've shared this done as a necklace, so it's perfect for that. Now what you do to start it, and it doesn't matter which part of the weave that you start on really, I find with these little rings that I'm using, you can use jump rings, but these are a slightly thicker ring. If I just bring that up to you, so they're a little spacer bead, a spacer ring, but slightly thicker. Oh, somebody's saying they're not as keen on the orange and brown, so I am using one of the colours, but I do a purple one in it as well. But all the samples, I decided to go with this autumnal one, but yes, we have done a purpley colour one as well. So what I'm doing today is just showing you the design, but we've got a couple of nice beady bundles for you to to pick up if you fancy. So they're down from £13 down to £6.50. If anybody wants to add any of those in their baskets today. So what I've done is taken Tigertail. So for those of you that are new to jewellery making or haven't worked with this medium before, Tigertail is a wire. It's 7 strands of wire spun and then nylon coated is how I describe it. So you can see it's got some flexibility in there, some movement, but it's absolutely strong. It's perfect for these sort of projects. So what I'm going to do is thread on, I've gone for 6mm and then these 8mm rings. So I have 2 strands of Tigertail, whichever stage of this you start. So say I was beginning it, you could begin with this point here that I'm on. So 1 bead there, then I go, both strands go through one of your rings. So like I say, jump rings work really well for this, but these nice thicker alloy rings are perfect as well. Then I take the second strand of the Tigertail and my second colour bead. Oh, I've just realised I'm messing up my design. Sorry, let me start with black. I'll explain that bit in a minute when I get to it again, but I'll just change that one to a black one. So you can do these in single colours, you don't have to do them in the double colour. So I went for black there first. Then my Castello ring. There. Then I'll go for my grey. Okay, so I'll talk to you now about the pattern that I've done with this. So although these colours are in the autumn bundles, they work beautifully if you mix them in with your oranges or your browns, but they also look really nice just as a grey and black, which is a nice classical colour as well. So what I've done, I've actually done 2. If you follow my pattern from here, I've got 2 black, 1 grey, and then 2 black going up the opposite way and 1 grey. So let me bring that a little closer for you to see. So I'll keep that in shot for you. There we go. So you can see the pattern, the up and down pattern there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go through my ring. There. So that's both strands of the Tigertail goes through the ring. And then we separate those out and just on one of the strands put the black. So to get that double black pattern, we then go through another ring. So all the time you're bringing it back in through a ring. So we do these in silver and brown. I need to get, I think, the brown, but make a note, pop the little bits in your diary. Excuse my phone ringing. Oh, hi, my cousin's just joined me. Hi, how are you doing? So, go through the other side. Excuse, that was my son ringing. It is kicking out of school time, isn't it? So he's obviously forgotten his key or something or other. You'll probably hear the shop phone ring in a minute. Okay, so what I did there, just if you missed that part, I put another black on and then went through the double ring there. Then I need to make sure I don't pick up my 8mm by mistake. Then I go through my grey bead again. So I'm just doing 1 grey, 2 black. Then I bring both strands of Tigertail together and go through the ring again, which just brings it together. You find once you get your end caps on, which I'm going to show you that bit in a minute, it just tucks it all together. Where are we there? So this works beautifully. There's quite a lot of the 6mm. Sorry, that's not in focus, is it? I haven't got a spare hand to tap the screen. There, it's got it. Oh, caught it really well there. There you go. Not having any of it, is it? It's not focusing on it for you. Hopefully that's got it, I think. So yes, so we alternate that. Let me carry on for a few seconds more and then I'll show you how to do a fastening on this type of cord. So what we're doing, for those of you that are just joining us, separating our strands. On one side of it we're popping a bead. Then we're bringing the strands back together again and putting both of through our ring. Then we separate the strands again. I need another black one. Now these, they do come on their own. With all the beads that I'm now using, we've got most of these listed in individual strands. So if there's just particular colours that you like, especially these lovely new matte stone beads, we've just added those on recently. So these are one that we've had, we've sort of hand selected ourselves and had put into nice sort of like bite-sized strands, about 8 inches long, so you can use them and mix and match within your jewellery making. And then I'm going to do some nice colour mixes over the coming weeks, so you can really try some of the different types of beads that we've got. You can see this weave coming together, so it sort of zigzags and they cross like this, so they open and close, the silver beads in there. Okay, on my black again. So I'll do a couple more of these and then I'll show you on one of the ends how to finish that. I think what I might do is revert to the orange and brown one I did in the same design. So this particular size of ring I find lends itself really well to a 6mm bead, and I believe the outer of this ring is more like 8mm, so 7 or 8mm than a 6mm bead. If you fancy going a bit larger with the design, you could obviously go up to your 8mm, but you might just want to use a bigger ring there. So I shall stop there with that. You can, when you want to bring it together, so say I was on the end here, what I could do, if I do this end to bring that together, I've taken one bead and this time I am going through both of the Tigertails. I just find that's quite a nice way to finish it before you go on to add your fastening. So what that's done is just sort of bring that all in together. I could have put one more ring there just to do that, but that just brings it all into one place, so then I'm working from there. So what I'm going to do is add the fastening, but what I want to do is revert, because I didn't have brown culottes at home, so I wanted to finish this project that I'd made in the, so from the same bundle, so if you're going for this autumn inspired bundle, this one's got your glass beads, I've gone for the shiny pearls, and then the beautiful stone beads there as well. Let me get that so you can see it. So they look really nice together as well, give a bit of texture in there too. Okay, so let's have a look. I've got my calotte fastenings. So something that we don't use as much here at Riverside, but that we stock, those of you that are local will know, we stock such a fabulous range of all the different findings that you need, but in the colours. So these here are our calotte fastenings, but in our coppery bronze colour. So I think we've got most of our core findings online. So that's our calotte fastening, which is a little clamshell you can see with the dome in it, like so, that goes on the end. Oh, Angela's just asked what I've used instead of silver. They're the copper version of it, Angela. So those ones. So we do those really big, sort of chunky style aloe. I think they've been added actually. Yes, they have, but only in silver. My mum is the other side, just doing this from home. Mum, if you can add copper as an option, even without a picture, that'd be fabulous. And then people can order it, and I can get the picture added at a later date. So yes, they do come in copper. I think they might come in gold, but don't add that yet, Mum, in case they don't. So, but yes, I think they do come in gold as well. So, but you can use jump rings. So if you don't have these or don't want to buy those, you can use just regular jump rings. They're just a little bit thinner. So let me show you how to add fastenings on here. Now this calotte fastening has a hole in there. So in the looped bit of the fastening, the hole goes through the centre. So it goes through the middle there. So what you do is you take your Tigertail through that hole. So I'm popping my calotte fastening on there. Now let me tell you some of the common mistakes that happen when I teach this to people. Make sure, oh, for a start, make sure you've gone through both pieces a while, which I have not. Let me do that first and then I'll explain. Okay, so I've gone through both bits of the clamshell. Make sure that shows that nicely there for you. Make sure that that domed bit, the kind of clamshell part of it that's open, is facing outwards, and that the little loop is facing outwards as well, because that's how we're going to add our fastening after we've put this clamshell on. So that's really important. The second thing is, the only bit really that's holding this is that joint in the middle there. Now it's a little bit flimsy. So if you were to crush this over a crimp bead, just losing focus again, hopefully you got that. So if I was to crush that over a crimp bead, it could snap that. So they're the two things that I find happen. But what's great about these is they have the little domed bit in the middle. So the idea is when you've put done your crimp bead, the dome will sit, the crushed crimp will sit inside the dome there. So it's just taking care really is my key tip there. Let me get my crimp beads. Oh, that's why I didn't finish it. I haven't got any bronze crimp beads either. Let me find a silver one. So it won't matter if you haven't got a bronze crimp bead, because it hides inside anyway. So it goes inside the cloth and you don't see it. So I'm popping the crimp bead over, over both strands of Tigertail there. And I'm dropping it down, not that far so it falls off. Okay, but what I want to do here, so I've got plenty of Tigertail to work with, so what I will just say to you is I can crimp this out the way. So I'm crimping it way out the way of the calotte fastening. This is only because I've got so much Tigertail to work with that I'm able to do this. When you crush a crimp bead, my personal preference is flat nose pliers. These are my chain nose ones. Crush the crimp bead like so. And I don't do I don't use a crimp plier on it, so I don't do the one where you kind of curl it all into itself. I just find that can be a bit precarious whether it breaks off or not. Then what I'm going to do is take my calotte fastening. This is the bit I'm saying be careful not to do it too, so don't push the calotte right up to the crimp like that. What I need you to do is like almost gently lower it down a little, so that crushed bit of the crimp will sit inside the dome of your calotte fastening, which will stop it doing it. Now I'm actually going to do this with my fingers while I've got that there. I'm gently, because it doesn't want to be, we're making sure we're not crushing it near to that crimp, and we gently want to squash that over. Okay, so that's gone there. What I do need to do actually, before I just do that any tighter, is trim off that Tigertail that I don't need. So cutting pliers or scissors are fine for Tigertail. So I've done the initial bit of squashing the crimp with my fingers, but now what I'm going to do is gently do that with my pliers. But I'm not looking to crush it, so it's not like the crimp bead this time. I'm just looking to gently guide that, and if you look, I'm tipping it slightly, squashing it a little, tipping it the other way and squashing it. I just find that helps it get that closed. So now you've got your crimp bead, your calotte and your crimp bead on the end of your Tigertail there. So what I also do, and forgive me if this falls off, but it's better to check it at this stage, just pull that and make sure you've got your crimp bead nice and tight at that stage. If you haven't, you have to go again and pop your crimp bead on. So that is your calotte fastening on the end. I'll slide all those back in place now. So because I've got that extra Tigertail, I've got that capacity just to move all that along. So the whole thing of this woven project will move along, and you can see now I've got that on the end with my calotte fastening on. Okay, so that's that end done. So I will then do the same the other end. Put my one bead to bring that together. So I bring my bead in there, then I go to my calotte fastening again. And with your calotte fastening, remember, I'll try and do it up here so you can see. We have all our loop and our domed part of that facing outwards. So through there. Now this other side, you haven't quite got as much room to play with, so that extra space that I had that luxury of being able to put my crimp a little bit higher, I won't have this time, but hopefully you'll be able to capture what you need to see. So that's great, that's captured that nice and clear for you to see the crimp, the calotte. Oh, managed to drop it. Don't do mid-air beading, it doesn't really work. Okay, let me just, sorry, I've just got to find another bead to pop on there. So we're all having a creative day today. Hopefully you're getting some time to have a little play. I know some of you watch this back on replay. So autumn's a great time. So with all the shows that a lot of us do any of you do the craft fairs and things? It's just all crazy, isn't it, with everything being cancelled at the moment. So I found I'm getting loads more time at the moment to create, which is just fabulous. So normally I don't do much in it. We've got autumn kits and we've always had Halloweeny kits and samples in store, but this year I've managed to get them all out there and bring them out as kits and collections. So there's bonuses to not doing the shows, although it's a shame for those of you that we only see at the shows. It's a shame not to see you all. I love that. Somebody's finished work to watch us. Thanks. That is just a pleasure. Thank you very much, Angela. Okay, so I've gone there. I've got my crimp bead. Now, take care. So what I'm looking to do is crimp that where I need it to sit inside the dome. So it's actually a little bit away from the bead on this other side. Make sure that's nice and crushed. And this way your chain nose pliers work really well because you dip them into the calotte fastening to do that. I would give it a pull at this stage. Make sure that's nice and tight before you close it because it gives us a chance to correct it if not. Nip that off. fairly tight to the crimp because the crimp is holding that wire in place. And then we're going to close that over. Oh, the aloe in copper is online now. Thank you so much. It's really handy having somebody sat by a computer at home. So you can grab the aloe rings online now, but those of you that are local, which I know Angela is, can come in store as well. So I'm gently cushioning that. Remember what I said about not doing it over the crimp bead? So I'm just trying to do that so I don't get it over the crimp bead there. Okay, so and then just gently we're going to do it again with those pliers just to squash that together from a couple of different angles. Sometimes so I've switched to that angle on this one just because I found it had crossed over a little bit more than I wanted it to. And then back closed again. And that is our beautiful woven bracelet, pretty much finished. So you can see it's just gorgeous how the tones of the different types of beads just work beautifully together. So a lot of my bracelets and necklaces, if I'm doing them on a on Tigertail, I would do with a culotte fastening. It's a nice neat fastening. The final part of the process is 2 jump rings and clasp of your choice. So let me just go for a basic lobster clasp. And I use my 2 pairs of flat nose pliers to open and close these. So 2 pairs of flat, flip that open. So did you catch? Let's see if we can get that nice and clear. Open, so one goes one way, one goes the other, very slightly. Go through the culotte ends. That's what that little loop is for, and that's why it's important that we have that so we can get it. So we've got that through there. And then we flip that closed. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, glad Helen's just saying that she finds it calming and relaxing. I certainly do as well. It's lovely. The evenings have got dark, haven't they, so quick, and is it this weekend the clocks go back too, so it's going to get even darker, but we hopefully get some nice bright days in the daylight hours. I have a daylight lamp as well, so if I'm sitting on the sofa at nights and I need a bit of extra light, I have a daylight lamp which just gives you that clarity when you're trying to match your colours and things up. So I'm doing the other side of my culotte fastening. I've opened my jump ring. I just need to make sure I've got it wide enough. Oh, I have, yeah. So I've gone through my, just there, I've got my jump ring open and in my hand. I've gone through the end of my culotte and I've got my lobster scroll. While I've got that and it's holding with my pliers, I'm going round like that. Oh, it's lost focus there. Oh, it's why does this focus go? Me and technology. There, got ya. Perfect. So you can see I've got that jump ring nicely open, and then I've got my lobster clasp on there. Flip that closed. Now just do it so it's closed. I have a bit of a habit goes around with me that I get a click. Let's see if I can get it with this. Hold on. Let's see if you heard that. Did you get it? So it literally is the 2 bits of metal going together. But what, oh, that's caught that beautifully for you. The nice thing about that is you know they're closed, but don't panic. You don't have to get your click to have them closed. But that's certainly an indicator that you got your 2 pieces. The main indicator is whether that's going to fall off or not. So if it falls off when it's attached here, you need to just get that a little bit tighter. So get that clasp open, pop it through the other side of the jump ring. And voila, your finished bracelet. I'm glad I've got that done because I made it the other day and didn't have all my brown culottes and everything at home. So it's a beautiful piece to wear, very tactile. It's and very universal to make into a necklace as well. Okay, so that's one of those pieces. Now that's probably the most technical one that I was going to show you today. What I want to show you, this is my industrial roll of elastic, but it's more some designs. So the type of thing that you can do with your bead collections that we've got. So this one again is the bronze collection, and I've done a selection of pieces already in this. So I have done this one here. Let's put that on. You can have a little look at it with our little pumpkin charm hanging off of it. So we've added all of the charms online. All of the Halloween-y charms are all online now. So this is our Enameled Pumpkin, which is super cute. And then, I mean, the good thing is that I've just added it on with a little jump ring. So actually, you could have this for Halloween or for the autumn season, and then take that off and have this. If I turn it that way, then you can just have this as a beautiful autumn inspired bracelet as well. So you don't, you know, if you just attach it with a little jump ring, or even on this piece here. So I've attached this one on with a bail. So I've got a bail hanging off of the centre there, and then I've attached the little carriage. This is, I loosely based this one as Halloween. It's Cinderella's carriage, I think, with a pumpkin. So I figured that was a bit autumny with the pumpkin. And I've attached that with the jump ring. So again, if you want to ever change that, or sometimes it's nice to have 3 little charms dangling off of there, you can just change those. But again, if you don't want to include the charm, let me go to that side of it. And these are all from the one collection. The only thing I've done, I've had a bit of a designing on these alloy rings at the moment. So they are one of my favourites. Those of you that follow my Kamahimo pieces, I do use them a lot in there. Okay, so this is this one. So a lot of my bracelets I do on elastic. So this is 0.7, 0.8 elastic, good, strong, and it's clear. Obviously you can't particularly see it very well, but that's really good because it just blends in with your beads. We do coloured ones as well if you want to tone them in with your beads. And then I just have a play around with my design really. So this collection has an assortment of glass beads. It has the new stone beads that we've got, and it has the, I think it's got a strand or 2 of the matte ones. This one's got 1 strand of them in there. Now, the only difference with elastic, okay, you can see this one's probably not going through very well. Elastic that's not really strong enough on its own to push through. I mean, it's come off a strand, so we know it's got a hole, but it might be we just need to borrow something, a strand, a firmer strand, push that through, and then hopefully when I go again, if not a head pin or something, or a little pin. No, it's not pushed it out of the way enough. I'll revert to that one. But yeah, just poke it through with something, because the elastic's quite soft for the threading. These are not playing the game today. We're on. Okay, so far I've gone for just a couple of the glass beads that are in the bundle. And then let me bring in some of these gorgeous matte ones. So these are the new stone effect beads. So they're a glass bead, but the effect on them is matte. So it's a lovely matte finish. And it's very natural looking. It's not a semi-precious stone, but I think it looks very much like it. That's that one there. So I'm just going to have a play about with the design. So it might be that I do 3 of these type. Oh no, I'm sticking to the same colours I did earlier. I was trying to do something different. I'm getting drawn to these same beads. Oh, I've put the brown in. I didn't do that earlier, so that'll give you an idea of that one. But the idea with this bundle, I mean, if you wanted something just more simple, you could just take your pearls out of it and use them with maybe your grey beads or something. But you've just got these gorgeous toning colours in this collection. And it's only £6.50 for 10 strands. So that's obviously 65p a strand. I still keep trying that same bead, don't I? Yeah, 65p a strand, and these are normally £1.30 each, so it's an absolute bargain at the moment. I've pulled the collection together for you, so there's this one and then the purple one. And if you guys like them, we've got lots of other colourways we can do them in. So if I was doing an elasticated bracelet, I mean, obviously I've picked these colours to tone, but you know, if you're walking around the shop, you would be able to pick different, or you're online, fill in your basket with them. You just pick different toning beads, and then I work out a pattern. So that might be my pattern. So say that measures in an inch, and I want to make a 7 or 8 inch bracelet. I would repeat that the relevant number of times, and that's how I work out my sizes. I do like it if I can get my pattern equally round. The only thing I've done here where I couldn't do that and I wanted to have the bail is I've gone for opposite there. I've gone for 2 of the orange with the bail in the middle, so that all tones in across the different sides. So that's how I work out when I'm doing a project. I think, right, yeah, I'm needing to make a 7 inch bracelet. This is how I'm going to do it. So it might be with this one, I go 3 more of those. And then I'll just bring my design in that way. So I would carry this on until it's the relevant size. When you're doing elasticated bracelets, I won't get the full thing finished, but I'll just tie this around in a little ring or something. So when you're doing elasticated bracelets, what you do is when you get to the end of your project, you just do a regular knot. So this is a regular reef knot I do on these. You can do other types of knots as well, but I just bring that over, pull that close towards the beads, and then I do a second knot on top of that. So this is the one that it's important that you pull close together and really tight as well. So that's looped over my bead. Make sure it doesn't, make sure it ends up in the same place. Hold on. Okay, there. Alright, hopefully you'll catch this. Alright, and I pull that together. And then you go. You'll be surprised how tight I pull. So I go close to the knot and I pull. So I really pull to sort of take the stretch out of the knot, and when I let go of it, I don't want that to come undone. So that's really important at this stage. Magic ingredient, if you haven't got a jewellery glue that you want to use, this is going to be one gigantic ring, isn't it? And then you just pop a little drop of nail varnish. So if you pull it like I'm about to, you might find that it can undo your knot. So just hold on to the two ends of the knot, particularly if you've not left yourself enough, and add your nail varnish either side of that. Let go of it, make sure it's not unravelling, and then actually leave that. Now sometimes I like to hide my knot. Sometimes I do it at this stage. I would push that bead. So at the minute I'm squeezing that bead to try and get it over that knot. There you go. So it popped over. You just feel it go. Now that will then dry inside the knot, which just one hides the knot, two makes it a little bit safer. Don't trim these ends. Don't be tempted until that's dried a little. So give it a couple of hours to dry and then trim that off. And then you're good to go. We've got a ring instead of a bracelet. I'm going to hold that and put it on. You'll be able to see. But imagine that was a bracelet. You'd be good to go. So that's an elasticated bracelet. So I've just used a selection of these different beads. So the stone effect beads. I haven't even used this one yet, but this is gorgeous coppery tone in these matte beads. At the moment we haven't got these individually online, so the only way you can get these, you can get them in store, give us a ring, or we've got them in the bundle. I think we might have a rainbow bundle online with them in, so with an assortment of colours of those, and then that's the weave that I've made out of it. So let's have a look at some of these autumn charms that we've introduced. Going to have a look. I need a new bead mat, don't I? This is scruffy. Hold on, let me see if I can get a new bead mat in. I shall get a clean bead mat so you can actually see what I'm doing. So welcome to everybody that's joined us. Hi there. I'm Donna. So I'm Donna, the owner from Riverside Beads. I recognise a lot of your faces and names pinging up saying that you're watching us. So hello, thank you so much. So we're trying to do these every Wednesday at the moment, and we're going for 3:30, just after our shop closes. So our shop's open. It's a high street store, open 6 days a week at the moment, and we are here 10 till 3 in the week and 10 till 5 now on the Saturdays. So any of you that are local or want to plan a visit, just bear in mind those times. And we're aiming to be here over on Facebook. So those of you that I did a bit of a survey in the week, and I found that some of you didn't know about our sister company, Riverside Crafts. So Riverside Crafts was actually my original company, I guess. I started with more craft stuff than I did bead. Very quickly got more bead stuff, as I'm sure you guys have in your stash. But this is a pumpkin. Look at this, isn't it absolutely gorgeous? That our lovely Lou over on the Riverside Crafts page is going to be doing a Facebook Live, but they will be, any craft ones like this will be over on the Riverside Crafts page. Now Lou is going to do this on Monday, and it's at a slightly different time to the one that we've been doing these. I believe it's 12 or 12:30. But once I get that confirmed, I will put an event over on Riverside Crafts. So do pop by and like our page if you're into your general crafting as well, which I know a lot of you were when I sort of had a chat with everybody this week. You said that you do general craft too. So there's that side of the business too. Now let's have a look at our witch. Now our witch is made up of lots of elements. In your kit, so this is Willow the Witch that we have done. We went for a soft name. She's not a scary witch. She's a kind witch. And I don't think she particularly needs to be just for Halloween as well, which I think is rather lovely about her. So you'll get a selection of ball end head pins. So you may not have seen these before. They have a really nice delicate round ball on the end. And these look really nice for when you're making things and you want to just, so it looks like you've got just a tiny bead on the end instead of a flat from the normal head pins. So these, Lindsay, who designed Willow, decided that she needed to look as if she had little hands. So when you put your beads on here to create this, it will look like she's got hands. Now, what we're looking to do is turn a loop on the top here, which will secure her in place. Let's have a look. Okay, I do need to trim a little off. So I work with about 1 centimetre above the top of the bead to create my loop. You can't quite see that, can you? There we go. So I'm going to trim that off. I need to bend this at a 90-degree angle. Now I've accidentally there just picked up my flat nose pliers. Not a bad thing, because flat nose give you better grip. So it gives me that real crispness to that angle. I do push it with my fingers, but be really careful. I'm not stabbing that into me, okay? I'm gently doing that. There. Oh, thanks for watching, Janet. She's got a mug of tea. I've got no tea. I've had such a busy day today. I've barely even drunk my flask that I brought with me. I'll be looking forward to grabbing one when I get home. And my very kind husband put tea on for the children before we left for work, which is just fabulous. Okay, so I'm turning my loop here. Let's see if you can catch this. Now, if this isn't as clear as I'd like it, which it isn't always on these videos, there you go, you got it. And then I release my pliers and drop it back in there. But if you can't get this, we've actually done some YouTube filming over on our Riverside Beads YouTube channel. And that will hopefully give you a closer look. When it's not live, we can make sure we've got it in focus for you to see. And you'll get a closer look on how to do that loop. I know you missed the key part there when it doesn't quite focus. So there we go, so we've got our little loop here. Now these are our arms, so I'm just going to do another one, not quite so close up, so I can get that done. So our arms have 2 of these bugle beads on. Now if you buy in the kit, it's $12.99. It makes 10 of these lovely Willow the Witch charms. And it has everything you need, so you don't have to worry about getting all your pins and everything you need. It's all in there. So gently bend it. Now you do need to bear in mind, bugles are glass, so if you go too close to that with your pliers, it will crack. So just be really careful when you're turning that. And close that in place. Oh, that one focused better. Hopefully you caught that a bit better, did you guys? So that's our loop on there. I then need to do the same for her legs. So I go 3 this time for the legs. Nearly 1, 2, 3 for the legs. Do each of her legs. So we get all this prepared in advance, the legs and the arms. So we're chopping it with your pliers, again 1 centimetre above the top of the bead. Like so. Bending, but again be careful not to crack it with the pliers. That's why I push it over my fingers. I'll do that all in one go and you can see. So looping that round, ready to go. So that's her legs. And this is the second one. Okay, that's the second loop on there. So that's all good to go. So that's all the preparation for that. Now what we also do, those of you that are doing it that have got eye pins, you can use an eye pin, but I've got a head pin here. Now you do also get step-by-step instructions, so again I've been able to focus nice and clearly on the shot that you need, but what I'm doing there is cutting the base off of a head pin, turning a loop, and then that becomes an eye pin. So you can buy eye pins as well, we do stock those. If you prefer to use eye pins, you end up with that little loop on the bottom there, and we're going to use that to attach her legs from. So at this stage I'll probably attach her legs. I take my flat nose pliers and flip open that loop that we made, and then I hook on her 2 legs and flip that closed again. So flat nose pliers are better for grip, and we close that up. Then I shall pop through the skirt or her dress. Then I'm going to pop her arms on. And what I do slightly with this is I bend that over a little. So as much as we've created that nice loop, I want to create a bit of a fold, and I just find it sits the arms neater on top of the dress. And it's a very fluid piece. You get a lot of movement in this piece. So gently bend those over and pop those in place. That's that. That's her arms on. Then we go... there's a tiny little spacer bead in here. It's a little tiny seed bead. You can barely even see it there, but it just sort of breaks up, so it saves her head being too close to her arms. Gives her a bit of a neck. So we pop our head on there. And then this time with our witch resembles the rim of her hat. And then the second one, which is her hat. Oh, it's got stuck on there. There we go. So that's the rim of her hat and her hat in there. Now, when we turn this loop, you just got to be careful that the pin doesn't try and drop through. So I actually think, although that's a bit more than a centimetre, I think rather than cut any off, I will probably go with that. And use that space I've got and turn a slightly bigger loop perhaps. So I'm going to bend that. Again, I've picked up my flat nose. So that's really good for crisp angles, but round nose would have been fine for that. And then I'm going to turn our loop. But if you want a bigger loop, what you do is go higher up these pliers, which will just give you a slightly bigger loop, which actually when we're making use of space like that, it's a really good way to use that up without cutting more off. So I'm bending round. When I can't go around anymore, that's when I drop it back into that loop and just gently get that closed. So we're looking for it to be round, but in the centre there, and just nicely closed. That shows that really clearly for you. So that's the loop of her to secure everything in place. There. Oh, you can't see her from that angle, can you? Let's get her the right way. Put her dress the right way. There we go. There is Willow the Beaded Witch for you. So she's super cute. The nice thing about this one is she sits as well. If I rest her on my fingers there, she's not designed to do that particularly, but the way that her skirt's quite wide, she actually sits really nicely. So I've got her sat on my computer at home, which looks rather cute. But she's great for adding, I thought making little key charms out of her to give us gifts for Halloween, because I don't think the normal trick-or-treating will be going on. So I thought these would make a really nice gift for that for this year. Just maybe drop it off to a few friends and family or grandchildren or something, you know, that, not that I've got grandchildren, of course. But yeah, those of you that have, a nice little gift. So that is Willow the Witch. Should we have a quick look at the Beaded Spider? This is a long live today, isn't it? You've put up with me for nearly an hour. Thank you so much. I was a little late, I know. But, right, so this is one of our spider kits. So this is how everything will come when you get your kit. You will get all the bits you need in individual bags and your whole length of your wire to use as well. So what I'm going to do is take one of everything out of the bag. So I've got my drop. It's a lovely crystal drop, this one is. A head. A few of the seed beads. I'll just do a couple of the legs just to show you. I won't do the whole spider because it'll take a while to thread all the beads on. You will need these though. This kit makes 20, so this is only £10 for 20. So we sell everything separately, but I think it would cost you more than that because you have to buy whole strands of everything. So this is just a nice way to use one of these head pins that are already out. A nice way to get the kit. So with the head pin, pick up the bead cap. That just makes sure that bead is not going to fall through. It's a bit touch and go whether it does. So if I need to, I just use those tiny bead caps just to expand the base of the head pin just to stop that happening. We use them on our angels as well. So I've popped that on there. And at the moment, this is all we're going to do. We're going to pop that. Let's find the hole. And the head. There. That's all we're going to add at this stage, okay? So then what we're going to do is turn the loop and then the legs go on after. So what we do is we do our centimetre as we need to do for this, but we actually go a little bit further than a centimetre because I need a gap that will then appear in there, in the head. So I go just a bit more than a centimetre, but I don't utilise all of that. What I'm going to do is bend it with that gap above the head so I know what I'm leaving. Like so. So I'm leaving a space between the bead and where the bend is. And then with my round nose pliers, I'm going to bend that round. And I'll utilise that gap in a minute to pop the legs in. Oh, sorry, I did that completely out of shot, guys. Let's try again. Pulled it towards me so I could see it. There we go. got your little loop there. But what I've also got then is my gap that my legs are going to go in. So then I take my wire, oh, it's a nice new roll, so it's nice and straight. I haven't got my straighteners on me today, so that's a good thing that it is. I'll just cut that end bit off because that is quite kink. Normally you could iron that out with your nylon jaw pliers. Okay, so you will need, I can't remember what the measurements are that I say, but you will need about 3 inches, I think I say. Go a little bit more if you're unsure. So I'm chopping that off, but you will go for 4 of those and you'll end up with your 8 legs that way. Okay, so then what you do is you take your wire here, so I've got 4 of those, and what I would do is wrap those round the centre at this stage. So round there, and all 4 would be together, but you would wrap them round maybe a couple of times like that. And then that will give you, you'll see if you go for the kit, we've put a picture of what that looks like. But you will then have, I've got 2 legs, you will end up with 8, and I would do them all in one go, so do all 4 strands there. Then what we do is pick up the beads, so as many as you wish, but I think about 10 or so I go for. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, what I do with this one, you don't have to just do a regular head pin loop. So you can, I might trim a little bit off there, but you can actually normally utilise all that spare bit of wire that you've got. And you do a round like you would normally, but you don't do that angle, because I'm just going to keep twirling, releasing it back, round, release back, round, release, and go back to the same place. And I should hopefully be able to show you what I end up with. And it will be, see that little spiral there? So I've got a kind of coil at the end there. So what we'll do is we'll do that on either side, and then the other legs as well, and you will end up, I'm just going to grab one of the spiders to show you what the finished thing looks like. Have a spider, not there, Lindsay. He's on top of the thing. Thank you. So here's one of the finished spiders. Oh, somebody's distorted his legs. I know he's a bit horrible for those of you that don't like spiders. He's a little bit gruesome, isn't he? So, there we go. Oh. That's what my spiders look better when they're that way around. I know they're leaving then. Right. So there we go. This is the only spider that's ever sitting on my hand. It was funny, one jumped on me the other day when I was gardening, and because I had my gloves on, I wasn't too worried about it. But I don't dislike them, but yeah, they are an acquired taste, aren't they? But yeah, so there he is. Anybody got anything then? I think I've been trying to pick up with everything. I decided to stand up so I could see all your questions as we were going. So, okie dokie, fabulous. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Myself and Heidi do these on alternate weeks. So this week was my week for my autumn jewellery, and Heidi will be showing you a really cute weave next week. Where's my witch? I was just going to pull her up so you could see her again, sitting next to a spider. So Heidi will be showing you a super duo weave, which is a nice simple weave. There's our little witch. I don't know if it'll sit on my hand like that. Anyway, you'll get the idea. It's not sitting as nicely as the spider, is she? So next week it'll be a super duo project on the bead page. It's a beautiful bracelet or necklace, and at 3:30 next Wednesday Heidi will be doing that with you. And then I will be back the week after again. I can't remember what I'm doing. I'll add that on tonight. And then also don't forget to pop over to our Riverside Crafts page, those of you that are crafters as well, where our lovely, I'm trying really hard, guys, to get you more crafty inspiration coming for these winter months. And Lou is going to start with a beautiful autumn project to make these pumpkins. So we sell the felt over on Riverside Crafts, and you can Lou will explain how to do it here live on our Riverside Crafts Facebook page next, what did I say, Monday, next Monday, about 12:30, something like that. So thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for watching. Very kind of you all to join us. It's really important at the moment that we sort of help support one another. You know, it gives us all something to focus on, doesn't it? So I love doing these and speaking with you guys, and it's lovely to have you all here, and I appreciate you all joining me today. So thank you so much, everybody. Take care. Don't forget to pop by to our Riverside Beads Facebook group, and that's a really great place for you to share your makes. So our customers are really interactive and love to see what you are up to. I would love to see some of your designs. If you've got any questions, if it's not me answering, some of the other members of the team are there, and also the customers, so you all help one another really. So if there's questions or you're looking for a bit more inspiration, Riverside Beads have a group that it would be lovely to see you on. You might find I invite you periodically. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Heidi will see you next week. I may well be behind the camera, or she might do it from home again, and then I will see you the week after that. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again. Bye bye.